All right, so you remember yesterday we were talking about Boaz, talking about his character, and we showed integrity. Well, we're going to see another bit of a character quality in Boaz today, and that's responsibility. And that sounds like, well, yeah, we all have responsibility. No, no, no. This one's a little bit different. Let me show you. So here we are in chapter 3, starting in verse 14, just to recap. Remember, Ruth came and laid at his feet at the threshing floor, okay? Boaz told her, I'm going to find out if I can be your kinsman redeemer. And so then she, according to this, says she laid at his feet until morning, but got up before anyone could be recognized. And he said, no one must know that a woman came to the threshing floor. So then in verse 15, Boaz shows some great kindness. He also said, bring me the shawl you're wearing and hold it out. And when she did so, he poured into it 6 measures of barley and placed the bundle on her. And then he went back to town. Now, some translations say she, so we're not sure which really one it is, but regardless, somebody returned to town. Now, 6 measures of barley is a lot, actually, and that's probably more than she would have gotten just by picking it. So here we show once again Boaz's generosity towards this. So then in verse 16, when Ruth came to her mother-in-law, Naomi asked, how did it go, my daughter? And then she told her everything Boaz had done for her and added, he gave me these 6 measures of barley, saying, don't go back to your mother-in-law empty-handed. Okay, that's an incredible statement right there, because Boaz, in doing this, has also recognized that he is now going to also bear the burden of Naomi. It's not just that he's going to marry Ruth and take care of her. He's now accepting the burden for Naomi. Now, this is not an overt thing. This is him, though, being conscientious and being mindful of Naomi and the relationship that Ruth and Naomi have. And so Boaz is showing great responsibility here, because think about this. He's not just marrying this woman. He's marrying this woman's mother-in-law, who's not even really her blood mother, but yet Ruth treats her like this. And so he's basically saying, I'm going to take on this whole new family. And I'm going to pass on the lineage of this whole new family as in other words, Naomi's line is going to continue. This is really an incredible showing of responsibility on Boaz's part, that he's willing to take this burden on. And so we have his integrity and we have his responsibility, and he's going to show it yet again here in the very next verse, in verse 18. Then Naomi said, wait, my daughter, until you find out what happens, for the man will not rest until the matter is settled today. Now, I don't know about you, but when there's a difficult conversation to be had, I tend to try to put it off as long as I can, right? We don't like confrontation. We don't like to deal with these things. Boaz is clearly someone of integrity and responsibility and character, that he's willing to go and do these things and not waste time and not leave things hanging in the balance, but instead to deal with this and settle this today. Now, we're going to see some shrewdness in Boaz here when we look at this tomorrow. Now, you might say, hold on a minute, Jeremy, are you allowed to be shrewd and be a Christian? That's an interesting question. Well, we'll deal with that tomorrow, but the short answer to that is yes. But for today, I really want you to think about the integrity and the responsibility that Boaz has. His willingness to take on, to tell Ruth the truth when he didn't have to, and also to take on these incredible responsibilities that, again, he didn't have to, and yet he's choosing to do these things because he loves God and he honors God. That's something that we could all aspire to, especially these days. I mean, to be people of integrity in a world like this is a difficult task. To be people of honor, to be people of responsibility, these are truly difficult things to do in our world today. And in fact, a lot of times the world tells you to shirk your responsibility, to do whatever feels good, not necessarily what is right. And yet here we have a great example of a man who not only is willing to do what is right, but he's willing to make the hard choices to do it. Okay, tomorrow we will wrap up this week's conversation by looking at the shrewdness of Boaz.